Welcome to solverfy.
So today the problem that we're solving is, given that there are 6 professors who give the exact same final exam, the lowest possible score being 0 and the highest possible score being 100, how many students do there need to be in order to guarantee that there are 2 students who have the same professor who earned the same final exam score? So the way that we approach this is with the pigeonhole principle. Essentially, what we want to do here is come up with what our pigeonholes are, fill them such that when we add one more, then we are guaranteed that this one has to go into an already existing pigeonhole, which will be same professor, same exam score. So hopefully that makes sense. So what we're striving to do here is create a number of pigeonholes such that each pigeonhole represents a student who got a certain exam score with a certain professor. And once we filled all of those with one student, then once we add one more to that, we know that that student has to go onto a pigeonhole which already exists, which means that there will be 2 in one pigeonhole, 2 students with the same professor and the same exam score. So that's our goal. So first we have to figure out how many possible exam scores and professors are there in order to have that many pigeonholes. So we have scores available from 0 through 100, which means that there are 101 possible scores that could be earned. And we have 6 professors, which have been sketched over there. And so we have 6 times 101, which is 606. And this is the number of professor exam score combinations. So for example, a student who got a score of 50 with this professor is one of those. A student who got a score of 30 with this professor is another one. So what we've done is each possible score and each possible professor, by multiplying together, we get the number of possible combinations. And so 606 is going to be the number of pigeonholes that we have, because remember, each pigeonhole represents an exam score professor combination, which is what we've just figured out. So if we have 606 students, they could each go into one of the pigeonholes. So we're going to just say times 606. Imagine that there are 606 of those there. And so now what we want to do is add 1. So we have another, so let's say that these little dots inside our green pigeonholes are 1 student. And if we have another student out here who needs to go into one of these 606 pigeonholes that we've created, since they are all already full, this student will have to go into any of them, but whichever one it goes into, there will now be 2 inside that pigeonhole. And that would mean that we would satisfy that there are 2 students with the same professor who earned the same final examination score. So our answer here is 606 plus 1, which is 607.